that.
Right off
it
the
could
back.
be yours.
Straightforward.
It could be his.
I used to play sports in school, and they told me that I wasn't able to have kids.
He literally cried and broke down because he was going to be devastated if this child wasn't his.
Do you hope the child is yours?
I love him.
I just want my son to be sure that this is his child.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Jones versus Myling.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Yes. Mr. Jones, you and your mother are co-plaintiffs who have brought the defendant, Ms. Mylan, to court to prove her 3-month-old son, Quinil Jr., is not your biological child.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you took Ms. Mylan and her other 6 kids into your home, and now she's trying to take you for a ride by claiming this baby is yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Additionally, you say when today's DNA results prove you are not the father, you are seeking $1,500 for housing and child care expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Mylan, though you do admit to cheating on Mr. Jones with another man, you say you're unsure if you were already pregnant when you cheated.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say you're here today to prove to Mr. Jones and his meddling mother, once and for all, that Mr. Jones is without a doubt the biological father of baby Quinil Jr.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Jones, why do you feel Quinil Jr. is not your son's child?
Well, Your Honor, I contacted the court 3 days after the baby was born because I watched my son break down at the hospital. You know, he was going to be devastated if this child wasn't his. It doesn't make sense to not know.
And so how did you two meet?
Her mother and my mother was neighbors. When she moved back home with her mom used to talk to her about me or whatever like that.
And then how did this relationship begin?
When I first, moved home with my mom, I noticed him. She was like, this Mr. Jones, he lived next door. We started, just on a friendly note, hey, how you doing? We'll sit down, we'll talk, laugh, joke. I go back in, tend to my kids. Eventually, he started, I could tell it was a little more flirting going on. Like, he'd be like, why don't you come watch a movie sometime? Or, I wasn't taking him very seriously because it is an age difference between me and Mr. Jones.
So why were you entertaining this?
We started off, we were just friends. I'd go outside, smoke. He'll play with the boys, my 6 other boys. Eventually they got some up.
So he became close with the kids. He would play with the kids.
Yeah, he became real close.
And did you enjoy that interaction, having someone there, a father figure for your children?
Yeah, I did.
Did you all talk about having a baby? Was this a committed relationship? Was this just dating?
In the beginning, we were friends, like I said, and then we just eventually did have sexual relations. I didn't take it, serious at the time. I was with my ex at the time. So.
Oh, you were? You were still with your ex?
Yeah, so that's when I kind of, leaned back off of Mr. Jones. But eventually I seen how I was feeling about Mr. Jones. Even after we had sex or whatever, he was looking at it as a friendship. But my thing was, I don't have sex with my friends. I thought it was more once I did cut my ex off. So
Mr. Jones, you thought this was just what?
I feel like once I approached her, you know what I'm saying, I tried to make her my lady, she chose her ex over me.
You felt like you were runner-up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I came to her, and I came to her like a man. I was like, I like you, and I'm feeling you, or whatever like this, so we can make something happen.
Once I started sleeping with Mr. Jones, I was no longer sleeping with my ex.
You knew that a likely consequence of having unprotected sex would be that you would become pregnant.
Yes, sure.
Did you discuss that with Mr. Jones?
He always said he couldn't have children. Said the doctor told him.
Why'd you say you couldn't have children, Mr. Jones?
Because I used to play sports in school or whatever, so I had to, have a full body physical, and they told me that I wasn't able to have kids.
So during a physical, they told you you would be unable to have children?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, it was at a point where they had got to the point where they were serious to the point enough for her and her kids didn't have anywhere to go. So I offered for her and her kids to come to my house. That's how I thought that they were in a relationship with.
So you thought they were in a relationship?
Yeah.
Because when she and her children didn't have anywhere to go, you said they could come and stay with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And they did?
Yes.
When they came to stay with me and my mom, we was then in a relationship.
Yeah.
When they came and stayed.
Ms. Jones, in your suit, the suit you brought today, you're suing for $1,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you say she owes you some rent money because she was staying at your house.
Yes, ma'am.
But in your testimony, you just stated that you invited her to come stay with you.
She had
nowhere to go.
She had nowhere to go, the bottom line. And I wasn't going to leave her out there whether she had money or not, but eventually you're going to get some, okay? I'm going to look for you to reimburse me for what I'm doing for you.
And your son was living there with Ms. Milan and the children at first?
Yes, he left.
When I left, I didn't come back home from the bar. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute.
What happened was she ended up going through my phone or whatever like that, and she seen that I ended up conversating with my ex, so they started an argument. So I left that day, and when I left, I went to a bar with my friends or whatever like that. My ex so happened to appear there.
He didn't leave.
Appear.
He left the prior. He left the day after.
Those exes always appeared.
Yeah, this was an ex that
Never
always
disappeared.
appeared.
They only appeared. You took your girlfriend and her kids, moved them into your mother's house, and then went with your ex.
That's what
Yes,
she
Your Honor.
And I was like, God, please don't let this be my ex-child, even to the point where I was like, I'm going to give it up for adoption.
In the case of Jones versus Milan, it has been determined by this runner-up.
Yeah.
He had the ex all the time. She knew about that. They were.
No, he didn't have the ex all the, when we were together. It was so much going on at the time. That's when I got so upset when I seen the text. I hadn't even been thinking about the ex. She had been out the picture this time for a sec. The ex always appeared.
So now when you're living with Miss Jones, the baby's born or you're pregnant?
No, this is before the baby's even conceived.
Yeah.
Even before
I mean,
conception.
or maybe why. Conception could have happened then. That's
Mr. Jones, you took your one girlfriend and her kids, moved them into your mother's house, and then went with your ex.
Yes, pretty much. That's what
Yes,
she
Your Honor. Like he said, I'm young. It's a big age difference. I started getting a little, I got a little stressed out. You know what I'm saying? It's 6 kids, all boys, plus my mom, my two little sisters. You know what I'm saying? The house is packed. It was crowded. I got frustrated. I ain't gonna lie. It started to get to me.
Come morning, I have to go to work. So I'm calling him. I'm calling him. I'm like, where are you? Where are you? You know I have to go to work. And he was like, he wasn't answering at first, and I was like getting mad. So I'm like, okay, I need you to be here because I wasn't comfortable with leaving her and all of her kids at my home unattended because she had so many. And by him leaving, I was like, okay, why am I doing this and you're not even here? And my reason for doing it was for you.
Yeah.
Right. And so you say she's trying to trap your son.
I felt like she was trying to trap my son because she stopped taking her birth control. She said it was making her sick, but she should have started another birth control instead of stopping it altogether.
What would be her motive to trap your son?
She want to be with him.
She wants to have him in her life. Is that true, Ms. Milan?
No.
Why'd you stop taking birth control?
I was sick. It was just making me sick.
And so how did you find out she was pregnant?
She called and told me. I was with my ex. She called and
Is
told
it
me.
still your ex when you back with her?
I'm going to tell you.
No, she's still my ex. We wasn't together. When I was with my ex, we wasn't together. It just we had a long
We separated. I left.
relationship.
I didn't
All
run
right,
back.
so get to the pregnancy part.
Okay.
She called. She said she was 3.5 weeks pregnant. I was like, by who? You know what I'm saying? She said it's a possibility it's yours. I know that. You know what I'm saying? Then she was like, I had sex with my ex or whatever like that. So she was like, it's a possibility it could have been him too.
So she tells you.
She tells
right
me
off the
being
bat.
honest, right off the bat.
It could be yours.
Straightforward.
It could be his.
When I found out she stopped taking the birth control, the first thing I done was I gave my son some condoms because she has 6 kids already and I know she's fertile. Use them.
Did you use them, Mr. Jones?
No.
See, you should.
Sometimes.
So you were there participating like the father. Did you sign the birth certificate?
I wanted the DNA test first.
Well, that was smart.
You know, I ain't never been through
When you found out she was pregnant, even though she said it could be yours or it could be my ex's, did you step up?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
You did?
Yes, ma'am. I
Because you
wanted to
knew-
make sure. I wanted to make sure if there's a possibility of being my child, I want to be there. I don't want to miss nothing. I want to be able to go back and tell these stories and say I was there doing this, doing it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Even
it.
when he was being born, I'm right there holding her hand, watching everything. Yeah.
That's right.
And you were there as well, Ms. Jones?
I was at the hospital, you know, like I told my son, just be there until we find out otherwise, because I raised him without a father. And every child needs their parents. And I don't want him to be the man that his father. I want him to be a better man. So
I
When she
understand.
was pregnant, she didn't have to lift her finger. Your Honor, she didn't have to lift her finger for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I did everything. You know, take care of the boys, make sure they going to school. I was, you know, feeding her, doing the cleaning. Yeah.
So did you ever tell the ex that he potentially could be the father too?
I told him first. You know, I was around him at the time. I was feeling sick, and I was like, you know, I knew I hadn't been out there that long also. But I did go to the store and get a pregnancy test, and it came out positive. I ended up telling Mr. Jones also. And, you know, he did his talking or whatever, but he ended up texting and was like, okay, regardless of what, you know, if it's my child, I do want to be around. Let me know when you go to the doctor.
So you were there participating like the father. Did you sign the birth certificate?
no, I told
No,
him.
I didn't sign anything because I wanted the DNA test first.
Well, that was smart.
Yeah, my son cried, Judge. When I say he cried, he literally broke down at this hospital. He literally cried and broke down because he was going to be devastated. And I felt his pain. I mean, I could literally feel his pain. That's why I contacted the court to help us, because I wanted him to be sure. But
And when you say he isn't sure, can you explain to me what the doubt is exactly?
my brother passed in July the 16th of last year. And during that time is around the time that she got pregnant. And she came to give her condolences and everything, but she came with another man. And on another occasion,
I was driving.
I'm at a friend's house playing dominoes. It's a guy come to that house. It's like a different street. This guy come knocking on the door looking for her. And I'm like, okay, you on the wrong side.
See, I had my doubt because, no, the doctor told me I wouldn't be able to have kids. You know what I'm
And
saying?
so between you seeing her with other men, her admitting that she also slept with her ex, and then you being told, Mr. Jones, that you were sterile and wouldn't be able to have children, that's a lot of doubt for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Mylan, you submitted a calendar to the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
This calendar outlines in red the date you were intimate with Mr. Jones. So that was June 28th.
Yeah, that's a...
And then next it shows in yellow where you went for your ultrasound on August the 8th. Mm-hmm. They told you you
That
were
was 5 weeks and 4 days.
5 weeks and 4 days. So if you count back 5 weeks and 4 days, all right, I see you've had sex with Mr. Jones. Now your ex, did you have sex with him sometime during that window?
I want to say maybe 2 or 3 days after the 4th of July.
So if it was 2 days after the 7th, this is when you had sex with ex. That's still a very close window.
You know, and I ain't never been through this situation, and I do have 7 boys and all now. I always knew who my kid's father was.
You did sleep with both men during the window of conception.
Yes, I did.
And so, Ms. Mylan, what are your hopes for today?
I'm praying, like when I first found out, and I was like, God, please don't let this be, you know, my ex-child, even to the point where I was like, I'm going to give it up for adoption if I could just know off the muscle that it was his, you know. But I put it in God's hands, and I was like, I told Mr. Jones, and he stepped up immediately, like, he was there the whole time, 2 months on up until now. He's been there. He's all.
And you named the baby Quanille.
Your
But last name because he didn't sign the birth certificate.
Yeah.
So, what are your hopes, Mr. Jones and Miss Jones? Do you hope the child is yours?
Yes.
I pray
We've
he
been taking care of this child since the day he came out, Judge.
I love him.
And I will continue to do that. I just want my son to be sure that this is his child. If he's there and he's saying, Mama, this is my baby, and that means me as a grandmother, I'm supposed to step up and take up where he's fall short.
I feel like me and her kids had a relationship before I even met her.
Okay.
So they used to watch me play ball. You know, I used to teach them how to play ball and stuff like this. So I feel like they was there before
He was a
her.
good male role model the whole time. Like, you know, far as them being around the male and him being young, like I couldn't believe the attachment myself. Like they'll ask, Mom, can we go out and get Mr. Jones, see if you want to play football or basketball, even to when they was, you know, having trouble in school, you know, Mom.
And so he was always there for them?
He was always there for them, even when we were just playing.
So, in addition to the $1,500 you're suing for, you also have spent money on diapers, wipes, formula,
clothes,
onesies,
anything I thought he would
care items, and you've provided the court with these receipts today.
Yes, ma'am. Those are just a few.
I will deal with your suit after I get done with the results. First, I'm going to go to the results. Are we ready?
Yes.
When it comes to 3-month-old Cornell Mylan, it has...
We've been taking care of this child since the day he came out, Jim.
I love him.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Jones versus Mylan, when it comes to 3-month-old Cornell Mylan, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Jones, you are not the father. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. Yeah.
You okay, Mr. Jones?
I'm ready to go.
I'm sorry. I hope you will find comfort in knowing that you did the right thing. No matter what you may have gotten wrong or right in the relationship with Miss Mylan, you did right by this beautiful baby. As for your suit, Ms. Jones, for $1,500 for the room and board and for all of the expenses related to the child.
You know something, Judge? I don't need any money. She's going to need everything that she has to take care of her kids.
This is why it's an honor for me to sit here, because I get to witness the power of forgiveness, humanity, compassion on a daily basis. Ms. Mylan, you've got 7 boys, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You want them to grow up to be good young men, so find good role models for them and good role models for yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
We have counseling for you, resources. We will help you through this as best we can, and I know you can do better. I believe it. Good luck to you all. Court is adjourned.
I'm sorry. I honestly didn't know and wanted to know. But I am sorry.
It's okay.
Closed captioning provided by...
One day,
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Chappelle versus Todd Cullins.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Chappelle, you say the defendant, Mr. Todd, is without a doubt your daughter, Walesia's biological father. You say the only reason he denies her is because his fiancée, Miss Cullins, doesn't want him in your life.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you're suing Mr. Todd for $2,475 for babysitting expenses and for lost wages.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr.
Yes,
Todd,
Your Honor.
you state there's no chance that the child in question is your daughter. You say Ms. Chappelle will stop at nothing to get you back, even if it means pinning a child on you that isn't yours.
True, Your Honor.
You and your fiancé are countersuing in the amount of $375 for car windows you claim the plaintiff destroyed. So, Ms. Chappelle, why do you feel you're owed $2,475 for these expenses?
Because I had a job, Your Honor, and he was babysitting the baby for me. And after he didn't babysit anymore, I had to start paying $75 a week for babysitting fees and lost wages, and I didn't have a babysitter, and I couldn't keep up with the babysitter fees, so I had to quit my job, and I don't have a job anymore. And here's my papers right here.
Jerome, will you hand me those, please?
I have never watched her baby, Your Honor. I don't even know when she had a job. I ain't never saw her with no uniform.
And you've never watched Walesia?
I never watched Walesia.
Your Honor, he has...
I don't even have a place to stay myself, so
at his cousin's house, at Shawan's house. He has dropped me off at the
I'm not even staying.
All right, just a minute. You two were in a sexual relationship. Right?
Yes.
It wasn't no relationship.
It wasn't a relationship.
No.
You were just having sex.
Just having sex.
If you were having sex and she got pregnant, were you using protection every time?
No. At the time when we met, I was pregnant.
But
we never used
when we met, she was pregnant.
She was already pregnant with a baby.
But the other baby, Walesia.
All right. Why is it you doubt that Walesia is your child?
Because at the time she was messing around with other guys, and by me being young and just doing crazy stuff, I go and mess with her at the same time too. So she was messing with men all at one time. But this one never my girl. I was in a relationship with someone at that time, and she was messing around too. So at that she felt.
So what you're saying, it was an understanding that you all had sex, unprotected sex, but that you also were having sex with other people.
It wasn't no 4 years. She was having sex with other. I had a girl at that time. I was in love. I had my girl.
He couldn't be in love.
But I still had a main girl. Yeah, I was messing with her.
So, Ms. Chappelle, do you admit that you were having sex with other people in addition to Mr. Todd during the window of conception?
No, Your Honor.
She a liar.
She was not even in the picture, Your Honor, so she has nothing to do with this.
What
we was
picture
together
that
here.
was?
2011, I was pregnant with someone else, baby. Our baby was already here when they met, Your Honor.
All right.
Our babies were here before she came in the picture.
All right. Ms. Collins, Mr. Todd, you also have a counterclaim.
Yes.
You are asking for $375.
Yes, Your Honor.
For car windows you say the plaintiff destroyed. Please explain to me the basis
On a
of that.
particular day, I had dropped Mr. Todd off to pick up his phone.
Lies.
Actually, Miss Chappelle stole his phone.
Stole my phone.
I dropped him off.
The phone that
Miss Chappelle,
I bought him a phone, Your Honor.
Approached me and bust my window out of my car. I called the police on the scene, and I had proof that, that she bust out my windows on my car. She ran. I have
she came to
a receipt.
That's how she get well met.
And I have proof, and I have a post report that she bust my windows out on my car.
Do you have that evidence here today?
I do, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please. Thank you. This is an incident report which says there was damage to private property.
And I do have the receipt too, Your Honor.
Windows were damaged. I'd like to see the receipt too, please.
This is proof too.
This is the receipt for the window repair. Total $375.
Yes, Your Honor, that Miss Chappelle did.
Miss Chappelle, did you bust the windows out of her car?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
You did?
Because she came at me and we had an altercation. She came all the way from Four Seasons.
It's about Walter.
And he was already out there in the apartment where we was. He was in the complex. She thought we was together, so she came where we was at. That's how she lived in Four Seasons. We was in 2500 Central Street. She came where I was at. That's how her window got bugged. She came at me with a lot of emotion, like we was about to fight. We did get into an altercation.
Hold on. When she came at you with this emotion, was she outside of the car?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. That's how her window got busted, and she pulled up where I was at in the apartments where I hang at my cousin's house. She came where I was. He was already out there because we had been together already. That's what she knew. That's why she came where we was at. And I bought him that phone that she said I took the phone back. You on the phone.
All right, so the bottom line is you do admit you bust the windows out.
Yes, ma'am, I did because that was self-defense.
All right, so self-defense.
Yes, ma'am.
What she do? She's mad that we're together. That's why she can't.
I care less about them being together. You honor what we're here for is the DNA about the kid. That's what I want to hear. That's the only thing I want to know. Is he the father of my baby? They can have each other. I don't want them. I want the blood test for my child.
She just had came back, and I had sex with her. She said, I'm pregnant.
Lies.
The doctor said, who is the father? What one of y'all the father? I said, who it looked like? The doctor said, it looked like my friend.
Jerome, I'm ready for the results.
Yeah, results.
Ms. Collins, I want to bring you into this briefly because I want to understand what it is you know about the situation. Ms. Chappelle says you don't know anything because you weren't even involved in this entire time. The baby was already born. So what exactly do you know about it?
When I first met Ms. Chappelle, we let her move in with me and Mr. Todd. We let her move in.
Wait a minute. You let Ms. Chappelle move into the house with you two?
Yes, because where she was living at was not healthy for her, the baby. And when I had a conversation with Mr. Todd, he said, this is a girl trying to put a baby on me, saying that this could be my baby. I said, well, we can move her in just so we can get tests to see if this is your baby. Therefore, that we can move forward with it. It didn't work out that way. We was taking the baby when she's out having sex with different guys, coming in different times of night while she's gone.
Okay, and so you feel like you moved her in and then she was avoiding getting the DNA test.
And what made me have doubt that this is not his baby, she doesn't look like Mr. Todd. And my cousin came and told me, she was saying it could be someone else's baby than Mr. Todd. So that's why I have doubt, because my cousin came and told me.
Ms. Chappelle, do you ever recall saying that baby Waleithia had another father?
No, she's lying.
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Ms. Chappelle, then let me ask you, why are you so certain that Mr. Todd is your child's father?
Because when we was together, I told him that I was pregnant, and he was like, oh, this your third child, whatever. Well, he was like, our child would be the prettiest child, whatever, whatever. And I was like, okay, it's cool. We're going to have our baby. And we came to agreement that he would be there for her. And when I had her at the hospital, him, his brothers, all them came
to the hospital.
Did you go to the hospital, Mr. Todd?
Yes, I went to the hospital. Yes,
why did you go
I went to the hospital because I was going to do an interview downtown at that same time around she had the baby. Once I got in there, the doctor said, who is the father? What one of y'all the father? I said, who it looked like. The doctor said, it looked like my friend.
No, he said your brother.
He
said it looked like his brother.
Oh, God.
He said it looked like his brother.
No.
He had two brothers with him and said it looked like his brother.
Let's get some order. Let's get some order.
He was on his first baby mama at the time when he was messing with my daughter.
Oh, what a
man.
Ms. Chappelle, you have a witness. I want to hear from her. Ms. Matthews, what do you have to add to this?
My daughter was carrying her second child when she started messing with Mr. Todd, Your Honor. She was on her second child. She started having a relationship with him while she was carrying someone else's baby. After she delivered that other baby, then she ended up pregnant by him, which is Waleithia, who looked just like him. He is my grandbaby father, and he know this. He know this. But this young lady, I don't know nothing about her. I don't know her because she wasn't nowhere around when these two started messing around. He was on his first baby mama. That's who he was messing with at the time when he was messing with my daughter.
Oh,
he was his first baby mama.
Messing with no baby mama. I'm messing with my girl who I was with for 8 years.
All right, listen,
but she wasn't
in not my baby mama.
Listen. Oh my, it's like y'all playing tic-tac-toe or something. I mean, you just here, there, everywhere.
Tic-tac-toe, but this is his baby. He know it.
This sexual activity with no protection, no regard. You all. Is this what y'all doing just for a daily activity?
She just came back around me, Your Honor. We weren't even around each other. She just had came back, and I had said with her, she said, I'm pregnant.
Lies!
I had moved from Overlook. They still staying up there. I moved.
Rizzo.
She came to her cousin house where I was hanging at. I had said with her, she
what
said,
about
I'm
you
pregnant.
came to Decatur at our house and all
That's
that?
before all that.
Living with us for several months before he met this lady.
Ms. Chappelle.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ultimately,
yes.
You say he came to the hospital and inquired about who the child looked like.
Yes,
why do you think, if he came to the hospital to see the child, if you feel like you all talked about having a baby, why? Why do you think he's denying the child right now? What is his motive?
Like he said, he say I've been messing with other men, but he never denied her till he get with his fiance. She put in his head that this not his baby. Yes, I did live with them, Your Honor, but I did not get to argue with them. I never left on a bad term.
She wasn't
we
even
was
in the
good
picture.
terms when I got my bag and I left, and we was never in an argument or anything, Your Honor. We was in good terms. They still would call me and talk. They did not put my things out. I grabbed my things and I asked
when I was staying with them,
Your Honor, we had...
Her mama even came to me and said, that baby look like you, cause the mama know I've been denying the baby when I was staying with them. The mama even came to me and said, that baby look like you.
You were denying
I was denying the baby when I was staying, but I was buying the baby camp. You came to me and said it. You said that baby look just like you.
Mr. Todd, is that what you're offering for testimony? Because if you're saying that her mother came and said the child looked like you, that would then support the theory that it was your child.
Thank you. That is his child.
She said, I've been claiming the baby. I never claimed the baby. That would made her come and say the baby do look like me. But because she know I wasn't never claiming the baby.
Okay.
I haven't never been claiming the baby. But even before I met her,
I need to know one thing from Ms. Collins. Why is it you allowed Ms. Chappelle to move in? You say it's because you wanted to have a DNA test.
And because he had said this, someone that's saying that this is his baby, and the baby was in a position where they was there, it was healthy for the baby.
So he acknowledged to you that there's a woman out there that says she has my child.
Correct.
But they are not living in conditions that I'm comfortable with. I want to have a DNA test. Can they come live with us until we figure this out?
And she was scared.
So again,
she was scared to go
Mr. Todd, you then acknowledged again it was a possibility that you could be this child's father.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what are your hopes for today?
I hope the baby don't come out of there. She ain't them a problem. And she don't want to. She don't want to mess with her other baby dad and all the rest of them. She want to come to me and mess with me.
Well, you want to mess with her too.
But all the other men mess with her.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Look.
She mad.
Hey, bottom line is you got to pay to play. You acting like it's a game. No, hold on, Miss Collins. I'm talking.
Yes.
That's the part that you are missing in this. Y'all acting like it's a game. Then pay to play. Meaning, if it happens that you are the father, then you have to step up and support.
Thank you.
When you sleep with a woman without using protection, and you know that other men are doing the same, you know you're at risk for not just pregnancy, but STDs, HIV and AIDS.
That's right. That's right.
You can play Russian roulette with your own life if you want to, but you're not going to do it to this baby.
Right.
So, ultimately, what is your hope, Miss Chappelle?
Well, I know that this is his baby, and I hope that he's ready to help take care of her and be in her life.
Jerome, I'm ready for the results.
Results. Thank you.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Chappelle versus Todd Collins, when it comes to 3-year-old Walicia Chappelle, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Todd, you are not the father. And you're smiling, Miss Chappelle?
Yes, because at the end of the day, this is his child. What they did, they say, I ain't having sex with no one else. I know this only man I was messing with at the time.
Yep, I know it.
Miss Chappelle, you were obviously having sex with at least one other person during the window of
But at least we do know that he's not the father.
Yes, thank you. Out of our life. Yes, thank you.
Okay, now that we know the truth,
yes,
we can start by these claims you have against one another. Ms. Chappelle, you came in suing the defendant for $2,475 in lost wages because you said he would not babysit for the child and you lost your job. You could not sue him because he was not able to babysit. Yes. And now since we've determined that, in fact, Walicia is not his biological child,
yes,
he doesn't even have a moral obligation,
right,
or legal obligation,
yes, Your Honor,
to babysit for this child. For that reason, your claim is denied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judgment for the defendant. You all came with a counterclaim saying that Ms. Chappelle busted the windows out of Ms. Cullen's car. You provided receipts that totaled $375. Ms. Chappelle stood in court today and admitted she busted the windows out the car. And so that's a very easy determination. You do owe her for the $375 that it took to repair her car. So for that reason, judgment for the counterclaimant, and this is where we move forward. Keep in mind the big picture is that Walesia deserves to know who her father is. Yeah. That's all I want you to know. Take care of yourselves. Good luck to you. Court is adjourned.
Thank you.
Closed captioning provided by
One day,